This is episode 173. I hope everyone is having a great day, great night, wherever you are around the world. I mean, before we even start the show, I know you guys can see the beanie that I'm wearing right now. I actually still can't believe the New England Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, their 12th Super Bowl appearance in team history. I'm not a podcaster today. I'm a fan. We're going to get all into it, but before we officially start the show, make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Seahawks winning this past weekend against the Rams. A heck of a battle there between the NFC West and the Seahawks and the Rams. Just what a game. If I'm not on my game today, it's probably because I'm still gloating about beating the Broncos in the AFC Championship, where we've never won a playoff game. We didn't even do it with Tom Brady. And then we did it with Drake Maye, sealing the deal on 3rd and 6 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, so much to get into on the show today. I got a little fun thing for you guys at the end of the show. You guys are gonna like that or not like it. It's gonna be good. Mike McCarthy being hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike McDaniel taking the offensive coordinator job for the Los Angeles Chargers. I can't believe the NFL season is basically coming to an end with the Super Bowl. Like, we're already here. What a heck of a playoffs it was. But yeah, the first thing we'll talk about is the last time the Patriots went to the Super Bowl was the 2018 season, and capping it off in Atlanta in 2019 with a 13-3 game, the Stephon Gilmore interception, the Tom Brady Gronkowski basically one of their last hurrahs, last Super Bowl in Patriots history. And if you were going to tell me right now, or say, hey, did you think the Patriots were going to go back to the Super Bowl like ever again in your lifetime? I probably would have said no. I probably would have said no. But then they drafted Drake Maye, and I thought to myself, maybe there's a chance. He was the 3rd overall pick. Who knows? He's looks like he's going to be the guy, but you never know, right? Brady's gone, Belichick's gone, and then Mike Vrabel gets hired this past season. You fired Gerard Mayo last year. You basically revamped the whole roster. You still have pieces on that team, and you find yourself back in the Super Bowl in a year that nobody thought this was going to happen. In a year where the Patriots went 14-3, 4-13 last season, fired their head coach in Gerard Mayo, and the whole schedule narrative this entire season I've been hearing about it, and now they're in the Super Bowl. Like, do people understand that? Oh, they played Justin Herbert with a banged up offensive line. Oh, they played the Texans with CJ Stroud and how banged up they were, and CJ Stroud was terrible. And then they played the Broncos minus Bo Nix, and if the Broncos would have had Bo Nix, they would have won that game. It's like, no, they wouldn't have. I will get into more of that, but we'll officially get into the Sunday game, the 10-7 game. Well, I'll tell you this right now. When I was watching that game in the first quarter, I was so nervous because I was like, oh my God, here we go again. It's a backup quarterback that we're going up against. We played Nick Foles in the Super Bowl in Minnesota with the Eagles, and Jarrett Stidham goes down the field. He throws the bomb to Marvin Mims, and he throws the touchdown to Cortland Sutton. I'm like, here we go. We're down 7-0. We're on the road. We can't win in Denver. I walked to the bathroom, and I was like, if this is it, we've had a heck of a ride this season. And then the game started going on, and then we couldn't really do anything on offense in the first half. And then, of course, you had the second half, which was like, I don't even know how you can even judge that game. But Drake Maye had that run on 3rd and 6 in the snow when it mattered the most. And he said after the game, he said, that wasn't even the play. I basically took it myself. I didn't even tell the offensive line. Now, there was one play that I did want to talk about, because we like to talk about controversial plays and break it all down as best as we can. That Jarrett Stidham play where he was going backwards was a backward pass 100%. You go back and watch that countless times. He's dropping back in the pocket. He's flushed. The Patriots were blitzing him. Heck of a pass rush on the defensive line there. He's going backwards. The ball literally landed backwards. And I don't know how the refs didn't call that a touchdown. I'm still mind blown that they called that a dead ball and it was a blown whistle there. Yeah, the Patriots ended up scoring on the next, when they got the ball there basically in the red zone. And that was their only touchdown, which was run in by Drake Maye. But yeah, that was 100% a backward pass by Jarrett Stidham. The ball was on the 15 and it landed on the 13. I'm still mind blown that the refs blew that play dead. But yes, that was 100% a backward pass. The Patriots didn't have the refs on their side. The Broncos didn't get robbed. That was 100% a backward pass. Moving on to the next thing here from that game with Sean Payton. Well, it was 4th and 1, and Jarrett Stidham rolls out to the right. Milton Williams flushes him, puts pressure on him, and it was an incomplete, and it looked like an interception by Craig Woodson. It wasn't. But yes, that was 100% a terrible, terrible decision by Sean Payton. I know hindsight's 2020, and he said after the game they had the momentum, and I was sitting there, I'm like, are they really going to leave 3 points off in the board in this game? Like, they're not going to go for the field goal? Because I know he said they had the momentum, but you kick the three there, you're up 10-0, and it's a total different game. And you saw the final outcome was 10-7. So yeah, that was 100% a terrible call on Sean Payton. I think we can all agree with that. Like, in that situation there, you have to kick your three. You're playing with a backup quarterback. I know you're playing with house money. You've got nothing to lose, but the way the game was going in the first half, you had to kick that three. So, I mean, it was just an awesome game. It really was. I was nervous throughout the entire game. I mean, how can you not be? The blocked or the kick by Will Lutz in the end of the game there in the snow blizzard. You can't see anything. They're putting imaginary lines on the broadcast from CBS. Will Lutz kicks the kick. We have a guy from the practice squad, Taylor, block the kick. Tip the field goal. Like, if he didn't tip that field goal, that was what was 100% going in. I was nervous. I really was. You had Gonzalez with the interception there. And, people, of course, are going to nitpick and pick on Drake Maye for his 10 of 21 with 86 yards. It's like he won the game, right? He had the ball in his hands on the 3rd and 6, and he closed the deal. Yeah, he didn't play good in the first half, and I don't really want to judge him off the second half because that was an absolute, shit show. It was an absolute snowstorm of a game. Like, you couldn't see anything. The ball, guys were slipping, falling, not catching the ball. But the first half, yes. But people tend to forget Drake Maye and the New England Patriots, no quarterback in NFL history has faced 3 top 5 to top 10 defenses in NFL history in the playoffs back-to-back for your second year as a quarterback. First week was the Chargers, second week was the Texans, and the third week was the Broncos. Oh, but they didn't have Bo Nix, and if they had Bo Nix, it would have been a total different game. It's like, we don't play that game. I personally don't think even if they had, I personally think even if they had Bo Nix, they wouldn't have won that game. I don't think so, because you can take away the second half because that was a absolute slugfest with the weather. But the first half, like, Jarrett Stidham didn't play bad. Yeah, Bo Nix probably would have potentially, put up more points in the first half, but Stidham didn't play bad. He had the touchdown. And give credit where credit is due with the Patriots defense. They could have completely folded in a game like that, and they could have given up bigger plays in the second half, but the Patriots prevailed. They were battle tested. They won the game. They deserved to win that game. Oh, they're going to get absolutely dog walked by the Seahawks. We'll talk about that next week, but realistically, man, I'm just so happy for this team. Like, honestly, 4-13 the year before and 4-13 the year before that, and you make your Super Bowl with your first year head coach of Mike Vrabel and Drake Maye. And Drake Maye hasn't even played his best playoff game yet. The weather's going to be totally different in San Francisco. It's going to be a total different game. Yeah, the Seahawks are going to be 100% a total problem to deal with. It's going to be a tough task, but I think we're going to be ready for it. And I mean, I just flashbacks of younger days watching that. I never got a chance to watch the Raiders Patriots game because I was a baby. I was a young kid with the Tuck Rule game. Like, I've seen the highlights, but it's not the same as seeing that in Denver go on. Like, the weather changed drastically from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. And I was just like, holy crap, here we go again. Like, anything could happen in a snow game like that. Guy could break loose for a touchdown, could have been a fumble. Like, the Patriots are playing it extremely conservative in the fourth quarter at the end, throwing the ball away, running the ball up the middle on 3rd and 9. Like, we trusted our defense. The interception by Gonzalez was huge, and you can say Stidham shouldn't have thrown that ball, but the defense in the end, man, stepped up. And you know what? It's a team game. And I've heard everyone say on the internet, well, if Jalen Hurts or another quarterback had a stat line like Drake Maye, he would be getting ripped to shreds with that. It's like, did you see the weather conditions in that game? Did you see Drake Maye make the run at the end of the game when it mattered the most, right? Do you remember that he's a second-year quarterback? You remember it's his first year with this offensive coordinator and head coach? Yeah, you're expected to play better, but we haven't even seen the best of Drake Maye yet. I want to give a shout-out to Will Campbell, too. Not giving up a sack that entire game. I've heard all week on the internet, Will Campbell's not fit to be in the NFL. He's just going to get absolutely destroyed. Yeah, Nick Bonito had the one pressure on him where Will Campbell basically went underneath and he got around him and Maye got hit, but he didn't give up a sack. So You guys can play the whole schedule and narrative as much as you want, but you know what? Now we're in the Super Bowl and it's a 1-game set and anything can happen. So I don't want to hear it. The Patriots have had a cupcake schedule to get to the Super Bowl. And another thing I'll say too, with this point here, if the Patriots would have lost it to the Chargers in the wild card round, everybody would be sitting here and saying, "I knew they were frauds. I knew they were frauds." If they would have lost in any of these playoff games from these 3 games, they're frauds. They can't beat anybody good. I told you so all year long. But now, when they're in the Super Bowl, it's a total different story, right? Because it's a 1-game set. All that schedule stuff goes out the window even before the playoffs. You play the teams on your schedule in the regular season, and you play the teams that you're matched up against in the playoffs. Just maybe the Patriots actually have a really good defense. Maybe the Patriots are actually a really good team, and they're a complete team, and they have a really good young quarterback, and they have a really good head coach in Mike Vrabel, and they have a really good secondary, and their defensive line is extremely underrated. So take it as you will, but this team is an absolute force to be reckoned with, really. We've silenced the doubters all year long. Nobody's believed in us, and I love it. We're underdogs in the Super Bowl. I can't wait for that game. I remember what happened in the last time Super Bowl when these two teams played. A magical play by Malcolm Butler. We can get into that next week. But realistically, man, it has been an awesome season. Job's not done, but just being a Patriots fan my whole life, I've been extremely spoiled. Like, I never ever thought we would get back to this position like in recent years. I was like, oh, Brady's gone. Then you had the Mac Jones, or we had Cam Newton. And then of course Mac Jones, and that didn't work out. And then we draft Drake Maye, and he in the rookie year last year, and Brissett was a quarterback, and then Maye took over, and then the regime changed with Mayo, and then this year has just been an amazing year. Like, I've never seen a turnaround like this in recent years in a really long time. And Drake May can still win the MVP, but we're not playing for MVPs in Foxborough, in New England. We play for Super Bowl trophies. We play for championships. We play for the Lombardi. That's what we play for. And I love it. All the NFL is extremely upset because the Patriots have had an easy schedule, and I can't believe the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl again. Like, what the heck? Like, yeah, we're back in the Super Bowl. The Bills had their opportunity this postseason and they blew it. You had 5 years. You still haven't gotten to a Super Bowl after the Brady era. And now we're in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, of course we're going to be cocky. Why wouldn't we be? We deserve to be in the Super Bowl. We're the best team in the AFC, and the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC. So we'll meet head to head next Sunday, and we'll see what happens. But I love it. I love it when people keep doubting this team. Keep doubting us. It's a 1-game set. Anything happen. Yeah, the Seahawks might be the better team. They might be the more complete team. They are expected to win that game. But hey, it's always great to be an underdog. Oh, Super Bowl underdogs usually win in the Super Bowl. Look what happened in the 2 Giants Super Bowls against us. Devastated still remember those Super Bowls. Look what happened in other Super Bowls in the past. The Bucks were not favored against the Chiefs in the 2020 Super Bowl in Tampa. Yeah, they had Tom Brady, but nobody expected them to win that game. Nobody expects us to win this game. Everyone's picking the Seahawks. So I can't wait. But yeah, from a 14-3 season this year to a 3-14 to a 4-13 season last year. I mean, it's remarkable. So, I mean, from there, we talked about all the Broncos stuff there. We talked about Sean Payton's bold call. Drake May reflects on the game-sealing run and Super Bowl berth. He admitted that Vrabel might be a little upset about him running out of bounds, but May didn't care in that moment. All it was the victory formation. And I love it. Vrabel in the locker room. Warriors! Like, this team has been doubted all year long. Going to the Super Bowl, it sounds pretty good. Just proud of this team. Yeah, job's not done. Drake May hasn't even played his best playoff game yet. And that's scary. He showed flashes against the Texans and the Chargers. And this game here, first half, yeah, he should have played much better. But you know what? He did what he was expected to do. And hey, at the end of the day, all it matters is that you win. Like, do we sit back and go, yeah, Tom Brady threw for 505 yards in the Super Bowl against the Eagles back years ago, but they lost, right? So does it matter? All that matters is you win. Yeah, I had 10 points in the game. Okay, but did you win or you lose? Or did you win or did you guys lose? Oh, we lost. Okay, it doesn't matter. All they care about is wins at the end of the day. I can promise you we can go back to Tom Brady's 3 Super Bowls in the Eagles, Panthers, and Rams in the beginning of his career, and I bet you that the stat sheet was not lit up by Tom Brady. Okay, does it matter? The Giants Super Bowls were both sloppy. We lost, right? The The Falcons Super Bowl, we came back. It was down 28-3. The Rams Super Bowl, 13-3. The last one we were in, their 6th Lombardi Trophy. That was a sloppy game. We scored 13 points. The Rams scored 3. It wasn't a pretty game. There was no offense in that game. But do we sit here and we look at the stat sheet, or do we look at the wins? Compare Drake Maye to other quarterbacks. That's fine. You can do as you please. But if he gets a Lombardi Trophy, that's all that matters, right? Does it matter about the stats? Like, we're so focused on stats these days, but what about the wins, right? Oh, but wins aren't a quarterback stat. Drake Maye has 3 playoff wins, does he not? Okay, take away Drake Maye from the Patriots and put in another quarterback. In that Broncos game, put in Joshua Dobbs. We're not winning that game. So Drake Maye matters to this team. You can say he's been carried by his defense this entire postseason. Yeah, the defense has stepped up tremendously this entire postseason. But hey, it's a team game. Going to the Super Bowl, that sounds pretty good. Just really proud of this team. Well, we'll move on to the Seahawks. We'll give the Seahawks a little airtime on the episode today. I mean, I'm not a Seahawks hater. Obviously, I hate them for next week. I love Sam Darnold's story, what he's been able to do, and how his NFL journey has been. But the last time the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl, everybody remembers the miraculous Malcolm Butler play when the Seahawks should have run the ball with Marshawn Lynch. Of course, their 06 Super Bowl, they lost to the Steelers, then they crushed the Broncos, and then they lost to the Patriots. That 24 championship team, that team, the last one they had with Legion of Boom was absolutely insane. This Seahawks team is really good as well. They were just in an absolute dogfight with the Rams, and I feel bad for Matthew Stafford because he played a heck of a game. You know, of course, you had the muff punt by the punt returner there, and that was this momentum swing there for them. They couldn't stop Kenneth Walker on the ground. Jackson Smith-Njigba is just an absolute, I don't even know how the Patriots are going to figure out to guard him. Gonzalez, they're going to have to double him. They're going to have to bracket him something because he's just an absolute animal. And of course, you had the taunting penalty from Rick Woolen. If they never got that penalty there on 4th and 12, their Seahawks might have scored again, and we might have just completely closed the book. But these two teams were the best teams in the NFC all year long. It was a heck of a game. It lived up to the hype and everything more. And good for Sam Darnold, man. Coming back, defying all odds, betting on yourself, leaving the Minnesota Vikings because the Vikings didn't want you. 2 back-to-back 14-3 win seasons. You were on the Niners and the Panthers and the Jets, and it's just been a great journey for him. But, you know, hey, he's still got to win the big game, right? I mean, I still think Sam Darnold I think he's earned his respect. Now, of course, if he loses this game to us, they'll never live that down, or he'll never get the respect I guess he deserves. But I mean, what he's been able to do with this Seahawks team all year long has just been remarkable. And that team is really good. Like, they have a complete roster. They have a really good defensive line. They've got great linebackers. They've got a great secondary. They've got offensive playmakers with Kenneth Walker, JSN, and Darnold. Their offensive line is solid, but that team just knows how to win. They don't really make many mistakes. But I also saw a thing where Matthew Stafford could potentially retire. I don't see that happening. I know McVay was asked after the game if he could, if Stafford would retire, and he said that's a stupid question. That's not going to happen. So, like I said, we'll have the Super Bowl breakdown next week for Super Bowl week, because right now we're just kind of in limbo at the moment. Like, we're just coming off the two championships, which were both great games in my opinion. And still, I'll still go back to this point here. I can't believe people thought that Patriots Broncos game was exciting. It's like, it's a snow game. It's like, who the heck? It's I don't know. Like, I thought it was enjoyable. Well, my team won, but like, anything could have happened in that game. So, but yeah, the NFC Championship was definitely more exciting. I mean, it's nice when, you know, it's not an absolute blizzard of a game and you get to watch it. But it came down to the wire. The 4th and goal there, or the 4th down there with McVay and Stafford, the play call that they called, and Stafford's 4th and 1 run basically before that. But yeah, the Seahawks were the better team. I was really excited for this game. I was I was looking forward to watching this game more than anything. But we'll take a break from these two championship games, and we'll go to Mike McCarthy to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know, man. When I first heard this, I was like, huh? Like, really? Like, you just let go of Tomlin and now you're hiring another guy? Like, the Steelers are all about stability. And that's what I said with John Harbaugh. It makes total sense. Stability, John Harbaugh to the Giants, stability is a huge part of the NFL. Like, that's one of the biggest keys, right? McCarthy's not a bad head coach, but this just screams Steelers. It's almost like it's almost like Aaron Rodgers is waiting. Like Aaron Rodgers is probably most likely going to come back to the Steelers because I know the players were really sad when Rodgers left, and now you hire Mike McCarthy. But like I said, this is a total Steelers move. I don't think this really moves the needle for them. I just think that they need to. I think the Steelers really need to just move on from Rodgers, which I don't know. We don't know if he's coming back. He's probably going to now with Mike McCarthy. But personally, I think the Steelers should just go into rebuild mode. I was saying this earlier in the season, in the November time, if they were potentially going to be moving on from Mike Tomlin. So, but they're never going to do that. The Steelers are like the Lakers, like the Knicks, they're like the Cowboys. Even the Lakers went into a rebuild mode for a few years after Kobe, but then of course they mortgaged the farm for LeBron, even though they did win a championship. So yes, I understand that, but they're just a big market team. They're so under pressure. They're never going to go into rebuild mode. It's never going to happen. Like if it's not Aaron Rodgers, it's probably Kirk Cousins. Like I don't see the Steelers drafting a quarterback. Like I could be wrong, but just the way this front office operates, the way that they're under pressure with how many championships, that they have 6, and how much of a legacy franchise it is, this Mike McCarthy hire makes total sense. The Steelers are never going to rebuild. I fully accepted that. I can't stand the Steelers. I can't stand their fans. I've just never been a fan of that franchise. But Mike McCarthy brings leadership stability. He had good seasons in Dallas. Of course, he was let go. He won the championship with the Packers. His one Super Bowl there with Rodgers. So I could totally see a Rodgers McCarthy reunion more than anything. And I did research because I thought before that Mike McCarthy and Rodgers had a feud, but that was disputed and shut down by Rodgers a couple years ago. But this marks a major shift. Tomlin is now officially gone. It's a whole new direction. I think it's a total different mindset from a different coach and Mike McCarthy. They're two different coaches. They're not similar at all, and it's kind of funny because Mike McCarthy and Mike Tomlin played each other in the Super Bowl when the Packers and the Steelers played, and now you just hired Mike McCarthy. But yeah, this is a total Steelers move. So he becomes the 4th Steelers head coach since 1969, following Chuck, Noll, Cowher, and Tomlin. So yeah, the Steelers, they're going in a total different direction. But Aaron Rodgers' future is still up in the air with the McCarthy hire. Like I said, I could totally see it. I mean, they played together for 13 seasons in Green Bay. Of course, the Super Bowl they won in 2010. And I could totally see a reunion more than anything. I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. All right, moving on to this one here. The Browns, they still can't find a head coach. The Jaguars offensive coordinator, he pulled out of the job. And if you're asking me, like my opinion, why the heck would you want to go coach the Cleveland Browns? Like seriously, like Shedeur Sanders, okay, like he's your quarterback 1 for now, but I don't think he's a long-term answer there. The whole Deshaun Watson cap situation is a mess. Nothing exciting about the Cleveland job. Their roster isn't that good. They've got a good defense, but like they don't have a promising young quarterback. Like if you look at the Giants job compared to the Browns job, like as a coach looking around the league, you go, why would I want to co-coach the Browns? They don't really have anything to offer. They don't have a lot of cap space. They don't have a young promising quarterback. They don't really have any offensive pieces. So their offensive line isn't very good. So if you're sitting there and you're asking me, like the Jaguars OC, why the heck would I want to go leave Jacksonville to go to Cleveland and coach that mess? For what reason? The AFC North is a mess. So the Browns probably are going to be promoting Jim Schwartz to head coach. And if you're asking me, that's a total Browns move. He's their DC. Their defense is good. But yeah, nothing really about the Browns job excites me. And you can say, why would you want to go coach in cold weather in Cleveland? These coaches don't care about that. But there's no stability in Cleveland. Their front office is a mess. And until they figure out the quarterback situation, until they figure out their number 1 quarterback for the future, nothing's going to change. The Browns will probably go 5-12 again next year if they're lucky. Like they don't have any money in free agency. They don't have a ton of cap. They've got top draft picks, of course, because they made the Travis Hunter trade. But yeah, I mean, if you're asking me, I just think that it's just not the job that you want. Grant Udinski, he's the OC, of course, and you interviewed with Todd Monken. So, then they, supposedly were supposed to interview Nate, Skillhace. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. The Rams, pass game coordinator. And I guess he backed out of the job. So it looks like it's going to be Schwartz. And then Mike McDaniel backed out of that, which I can't blame him. Like, I don't know what coach is going to want to go coach in Cleveland. They're an absolute mess. They're an absolute dumpster fire. and nothing is going to change until they figure out their quarterback position. I'm not a big fan of that GM, Andrew Berry. So yeah, the Browns, nothing is going to change, unfortunately. Cleveland is just going to stay Cleveland until they figure out their front office and they get they actually get a legit quarterback. Well, moving on to the Mike McDaniel effect for the Chargers. Well, of course, he was supposed to interview with the Buffalo Bills. Then he backed out of that, and then he was linked to the Browns, and then he was linked to the Titans, and then the Lions, and then of course he found his home in Southern California. It's like it just happened in the blink of an eye. I was saying on the podcast a couple weeks ago that the Mike McDaniel as an offensive coordinator made way more sense than him being a head coach. I don't think he's fit to be a head coach, and if I'm a Chargers fan, like I think like that's your Super Bowl right there. Like, yeah, of course the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl, but like getting Mike McDaniel as your OC, like you saw what he did in 2023, you saw what he did with the Niners, and he's not fit to be a head coach. This is a perfect landing spot for him to work with Justin Herbert and those receivers, and they're going to get the offensive line healthy again next year. Like that's a absolute step up from Greg Roman. Like you're thinking to yourself, Justin Herbert with Mike McDaniel, like he did pretty good with Tua for like in the beginning when he was there. Of course, they had that 2023 season, and of course he was with the Niners. But he's an absolute genius as a play caller. I think I've said this. He's a good offensive coordinator. He's a great offensive coordinator. He's not a fit to be a head coach, and that's fine. And that's exactly what it's going to be. He gets to be under Jim Harbaugh. He gets to work with Justin Herbert. He gets to perfect that offense, and I am super excited to see him be as an OC with the Chargers. And it's so funny. Eagles fans wanted him. It's like I don't think he wanted that job. I think there's more pressure in Philadelphia, and I don't think he wanted to work with Jalen Hurts in that offense. I think he really thought there's a way better opportunity with the Chargers compared to the Eagles. And why the heck would you want to be in Philadelphia when you can be in warm, sunny Southern California with Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert and then Jalen Hurts? I thought it was a no-brainer, if you ask me. Well, then, of course, you had Phillip Rivers bails on the Bills head coaching search. What went down? Well, last week when I saw this, I was like, Phillip Rivers is going to be potentially the next head coach of the Bills. And I was like, nah, no way this is going to happen. He doesn't have any experience. And it kind of screamed JJ Redick to me in a way, but I didn't I don't know. I think the Bills are desperate more than anything, but good for Phillip Rivers for not taking this head coaching job. Like he's just coming off the little short stint he had with the Colts. He's not ready. He wants to spend time with his family. And if I'm him, why the heck would I want to step into that mess in Buffalo? The only reason why the Bills are relevant or on the map is because of Josh Allen. Like your franchise is like an absolute dumpster fire. You have your, owner of the franchise last week basically throwing Keelan Coleman under the bus and Sean McDermott. It's like, if I'm Phillip Rivers, why would I want to step into that mess? That makes absolutely zero sense to go to the Buffalo Bills in the AFC North. For what reason? You're a Hall of Fame level quarterback. You want to go step into a head coaching mess with Josh Allen and that team? You want to go deal with those fans? Why? Why the heck would you want to go do that? Go let Brian Dable or Davis Webb or Joe Brady take that job, because that is just as an absolute no. Good for Phillip Rivers for not taking the head coaching job. And I don't think this is the last of Phillip Rivers that we'll see in the NFL as for head coaching opportunities. I think as time goes on, maybe more teams will probably want to be able to use him as their head coach, like pick his brain because he's so experienced. He's such a veteran. Like watching him play these last couple games in his career for the Colts, like you were watching it and you're like, holy crap, like this guy's like the field general. He knows everything that the defense is doing. Like he knows everything. He's like Yoda. So I don't think this is the last of Phillip Rivers we've seen in the NFL as a head coach. But if it's me, if I was Phillip Rivers, and I'm glad he didn't take the Buffalo Bills job and not even care about him being in the Patriots division. I don't care about that. That Bills are just an absolute mess. Like they need to bring back Brian Dable or promote Joe Brady or find somebody that can work with Josh Allen and go get yourself a number one wide receiver. I'm not giving the Bills much airtime today. But also, too, want to mention this. We didn't have anything college football news to talk about. Of course, we had the Indiana-Miami game last week. This morning, it came out that Darian Menza and Duke agreed to a mutual situation of parting ways, removing himself from Duke, and he's going to be most likely transferring to Miami. So we can talk about that on next week's podcast. But I think I wanted to save the second best thing for the last part of the show. And as you can see, I'm wearing this beanie right now. We're gonna give this some good airtime here. My segment, it's called "Why I'm a Celtics Fan Now." So last Monday, after the Patriots beat the Texans, I thought to myself, I would really like to pick a basketball team. I right now am a LeBron James fan. I have rooted for LeBron since he has played for the Cavs, and I was a really big Heat fan when LeBron was on there. But I'm going to explain this to you guys as best as I can because my friends asked me, they said, "Are you going to talk about this on the podcast?" Yes. I know I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. I know I'm going to get shredded for this by Boston fans, by LA fans, by my friends, and I understand it. Listen, I know what I signed up for when I made a podcast a couple years ago. I know what goes out on the internet. I know when I clip things, they get out of hand for because that's just the nature of this. However, yes, I have been a LeBron James fan my entire life in basketball. I was a Cavs fan when LeBron was there in the beginning, and I was really, really big Heat fan when LeBron was there. But then, of course, LeBron left and he went back to the Cavs, and they won the championship in 2016. And I rooted for LeBron. I have always rooted for LeBron. He is my favorite basketball player of all time. I have nothing but respect for LeBron. I think he's the GOAT. But as I've gotten older and as time has gone on, I liked the Lakers. But LeBron is on his way out. He is going to be retiring soon. I figured to myself, I am from New England. I need a basketball team. I like watching basketball. I can sit there and watch 1940s basketball highlights. I can sit there and go back and watch the 2010 finals or 2011 finals between the Heat and the Mavericks when LeBron and the Heat collapsed. But I need a basketball team. And I picked the Celtics. And the reason why I picked the Celtics was because I'm from New England. And if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm a Celtics fan. Now, people, of course, are going to discredit me because that's insane. You're moving from the Lakers to the Celtics. I've never had any ties to LA. I only lived there for a very short time. I wanted to pick a basketball team. I didn't want to just root for LeBron. I have no ties to the Lakers. And people, of course, are going to discredit me. But I can pick whatever team I like. And if people don't respect it, that's on them. And of course, yes, I am still a Yankees fan in baseball. And I know that's absolutely sacrilegious. You like the Lakers, you like the Yankees, the Celtics, and the Patriots. I never grew up with the Boston Red Sox. I never grew up with the Boston Celtics, and I never grew up with the Boston Bruins. The only team that was brought up to me when I was a young kid was the New England Patriots. If my family or my family up north said, "Hey, we're all Patriots, we're all Celtics, we're all Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox fans," of those four teams, the core four in New England and Boston, basically Boston, I would have liked all those teams. Rest in peace to my cousin Miguel. He was a Celtics fan. I have his Celtics jacket in the closet, and that Celtics jacket holds a special meaning to me. I've never hated the Celtics. I just have never liked them because I never really watched them. I obviously know about the Celtics history and the tradition and the legacy, but nobody really ever brought that up to me. If I was growing up when I was younger, yes, I would have been a Celtics fan. But now I'm officially a Celtics fan. I started my fandom last Monday. And people can say, "You're not a free agent. You can't just do that." I go, "Yeah, I can. That's my team. I'm sticking with the Celtics." And my friends have asked me, "Are you claiming their championships from the past?" No, I'm not claiming the championships from the past. If the Celtics win the championship this year, I will claim this one. And they also asked me, "Well, what about the Lakers if they win the finals this year? Are you claiming that champion? Are you going to be happy?" Good for LeBron, but I'm not a Lakers fan anymore. I removed the Lakers from all my social media. I don't follow them on Instagram anymore. No Twitter, no TikTok. I still follow LeBron, of course, because I love LeBron, but no, I will root for LeBron until the wheels fall off, which he's probably done in one or two more seasons. He's probably got this season, and next year probably will be his farewell. He's 41 years old. I have no ties to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't need to be rooting for them. I don't live there anymore. Yes, I probably should be a Boston Red Sox fan and a Boston Bruins fan. And I'm never going to hate the Bruins. I'm a Capitals fan for Ovechkin, but my team has always been the Patriots. I've always rooted for the Patriots. I rooted for Tom Brady when he was on the Bucks, but that was totally different. He left the Patriots, and people, of course, I've always been a diehard Patriots fan. Even since I was a young kid, I was watching the Cam Newton Patriots. It's not that hard to be a fan when you guys have won 6 Super Bowls. I will never jump ship on the Patriots. There's 2 teams in sports that excite me the most when I watch sports: the Patriots and the Gators. Those 2 teams right there, I will never switch up on those 2 teams. The Patriots are my through and through. I never thought we were going to get back to a Super Bowl this year. I went to the game last year when we had Drake Maye come in the game for Jacoby Brissett. Drake Maye came in the game for Jacoby Brissett. And it was the Jets game. Did he come in the game or did he start the game? I think he came in the game. However, though, I was there. And you can say it's not hard to be a fan when you guys have been good all these years. That's my team. Listen, I'm not going to be a diehard Celtics fan. I will root for them, but I'm not going to be a diehard. But that's my new team in basketball. I know people are going to call me crazy for that. I can't believe you're doing this. You're not a free agent, but that's my team in basketball. I'm embracing it. So Patriots and Celtics, I finally have an NBA team where I can actually enjoy watching them. I had one when LeBron was on the Heat, and if LeBron never left the Heat, I'd probably still be a Heat fan. But that was not how I felt about it. I just followed LeBron, and everyone's going to say, you're a LeBron bandwagon. I can't believe you're doing this. But you know what? LeBron's on his way out. I have zero ties to the Los Angeles Lakers. I wish them the best, but another thing too, I never liked the Lakers when Kobe was there. I love Kobe, but LeBron's my favorite player. I was never rooting for the Lakers before LeBron got there. I had zero interest in the Lakers. I was really happy when he was on the Heat. That was probably my best years was when LeBron was on the Heat. I wish he would have stayed, but that's not that was how it was. And you know what? I wish from the beginning of the time, I wish if I could go back in time, if I could go back into time travel and go back in time, I would 100% pick the Celtics. If I could go back in time, I would pick all 4 Boston teams. I'd pick the Sox, the Pats, the Bruins, and the Pats, the Sox, the Bruins, and the Celtics, those 4 teams. But that's not how I chose. So listen, my dad's a Dolphins fan. My mom is a Patriots fan because of growing up there, but she also liked the Cowboys. But like, I didn't like, we moved here we moved to Florida when I was 5-6 years old. So the Patriots were the first team that was introduced to me when I was living in Rhode Island when I was a baby. And I followed that fandom all the way through. But also too, people tend to forget the Patriots had a 10-year drought of not winning a Super Bowl. And okay, that's crazy. Like, I can't believe you're saying that, but it is true. Like, we don't win the Super Bowl every single reason. Yeah, we're extremely spoiled as Patriots fans. Yes, every time the Patriots get in the playoffs, I expect us to win the Super Bowl. I really do. Like, when we got into the dance this year, I thought we were going to win it all. I really did. And we have one game, of course, or I thought we were going to get the Super Bowl. My prediction was Pats Seahawks. But yes, from here on out, I'm a Patriots and a Celtics fan. Those are my 2 teams. Yep, those are my 2 teams. I am fully embracing it. And my friends have been giving me hell about it all last week. And you know what? I'm ordering my Celtics quarter zip on Amazon tomorrow when my credit clears from Amazon. So, guys, I really appreciate the support all year long. I'm still on cloud 9 that the Patriots are in the freaking Super Bowl. Like, I still can't believe it. Like, you're telling me like I get to watch the Super Bowl with the Patriots in it again. I'm 27 years old. I've witnessed 9, or excuse me, this is our 10th, because 6-3 with Brady, and now this could be number 7. So oh man, I still can't believe it. Like, I'm just like, my body froze when they beat the Broncos. But guys, on that note, that does it for us. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Shorter episode today because there really isn't a whole lot to cover outside of the two championship games. The Patriots going to their 12th Super Bowl. The Seahawks going to another Super Bowl there as well. Their last time was playing against the Patriots. My Celtics fandom, of course, I'm rocking the beanie. So make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. This will probably be out later today. I got a podcast appearance at 12 o'clock today. I was invited on a show to talk about the championship games this past weekend. But yeah, I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for the Celtics, but that's my new team, baby. Like, I don't know. Like, I actually get excited now when I watch the Celtics. And even if they don't win the championship this year, or when they making the playoffs, I'll just be happy that I actually have a basketball team now more than anything. Tatum's coming back soon too. What a time to be alive. We'll see you guys next week. Let's go.